Hi, I'm Brianna Grants, and I grew up in Bethany. My family still lives here. I went to high school there. I like to read a lot, and I like to sing. Um, I make logos for churches. That's kind of what I do in my free time that I don't really have. I'm a barista. I got married this summer, and I went to SNU because it was kind of there. That's really my answer. And I hope to learn more about how to interact with other cultures, which is kind of the purpose of this course. My plans after I graduate are to find a Nazarene coffee shop and work there with my husband, or possibly a Nazarene church. Um, that's kind of our goals. Um, I grew up at OKC First Church of the Nazarene, and we traveled to Kansas City, and when I was a middle schooler, we did mission trips there, and that was kind of my first culture shock. I had never really been in a low income part of Oklahoma City, which there are some, and um, just that like streets weren't upkept and stuff like that really shocked me when I was in middle school. So yeah, that's an American culture, but it was different from my own growing up. And then we started doing um, what we call outpost ministries, where we go to the lower income apartment complexes around our church and serve them hot dogs every Sunday. And then I got to interact with people who were different socioeconomic statuses than I, don't have the same opportunities that I do. Um, so I learned to have grace and patience for people. Um, One of my friends growing up in high school was a DACA recipient from Mexico, and that was really interesting for me to learn a lot about how the immigration system works in America and about why he left Mexico and how awful it was there for him. Um, I've traveled to Zambia when I was in high school, which is a country in Africa, and it's a low income country, but it's not as bad off as some are. They have Victoria Falls in Zambia, which is one of the largest waterfalls in the world. So a lot of their money and why they aren't as um, don't have as worse off of a government and things like that is because they have a lot of tourists. Um, so we worked there and we built, or and still are building, a Nazarene Conference Center to train pastors there. Um, I've traveled to England twice, to Manchester and to London. My mom lived there for 2 months out of every year while she was getting her doctorate, so I know a lot about that culture, even though it's not too much different than our own. There are still a lot of cultural differences in how you interact with people, and like you don't smile to people when you walk down the street, and just kind of learning those kinds of things. Um, yeah, that's kind of my life and where I've been.